Madam President, I ask unanimous consent that the following interns in my office be granted floor privileges until June 7, 2024, Ms. Allison Moore and Mr. Charlie Hayes.
Without objection.
Madam President, Senate Democrats are using their power in the majority to push an alarmist and false narrative that there is a problem accessing contraception. They proposed a bill which is more about a solution to find a problem. Today's vote is nothing more than scaring and misleading the American people. Here are the facts. Let me show this graph. There is no state or territory that bans access to birth control pill. We made this graph. Here you see all the states that ban birth control are in orange, and all the states that allow it are in green. And if you notice, every state is green. This is not an issue unless your candidate for president is running behind in the polls and there's a need to make people frightened to turn out on a false issue to hopefully improve poll numbers. But misleading and scaring voters seems to be, in their mind, the only way they can get that extra support. But don't be mistaken. The bill goes way beyond protecting access to the routine use of birth control pills or other contraceptives, and there are plenty of reasons why Republicans oppose this legislation. Here's what the bill actually does. It defines contraception so broadly that it likely also includes a right to a chemical abortion pill. It eviscerates conscience protections for health care providers, overriding the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, or RFRA. In fact, if enacted, this would be the first time a law explicitly waived RFRA. Now, by the way, we are a pluralistic society. Some people are pro-life, some people are pro-choice, but we've tried to find peace on this issue. You don't find peace by eviscerating people's rights to follow their conscience, knowing that there's a provider down the street that could give the service that would be required under this law. And finally, the bill prioritizes abortion provider Planned Parenthood, preventing states or the federal government from prioritizing funding for life-affirming organizations. Madam President, this is not serious legislation. It bypassed the Help Committee, just kind of taken out, brought straight to the floor. Again, not seriously considered, rather a vehicle for political grandstanding. It is not a serious process, but rather a political stunt designed to fearmonger and mislead the public in an attempt to sway voters in an election year. Republicans should not play along. I oppose this legislation and urge my colleagues to do the same. I also want to highlight my amendment to this flawed bill. While the bill is beyond improvement in current form, my amendment proposes to shed much-needed light on another issue that has been pulled into the Democrats' political stunt of the month. That is the fact that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have very little data on abortion, including on abortion survivors. If the policy preference of the other party is to promote abortion on demand, the American people deserve accurate information on this policy's effects. We are fortunate to meet a woman who survived two abortion attempts this week. She testified in the Help Committee. And so as Democrats continue to push the chemical abortion pill on women, we may learn of more abortion survivors when at-home, unsupervised abortions fail and put mothers at risk. My proposal directs the CDC to include attempted abortions as a method of delivery and to collect data on abortion survivals. It would also direct the Department of Health and Human Services to refer abortion survivors to applicable federal programs for vulnerable and newborn children. If Democrats stand behind their abortion on demand stance, why would they not support this policy? Nevertheless, I suspect the other party will not be interested in considering my proposal as part of this bill or any other political show vote that's scheduled in the coming weeks. With that, I yield.